It looks like a complete quality outfit. Nothing but quality members, well recognised by the public as an organisation only representing quality. So the public can be assured that when they go to a member organisation of the service that they'll receive quality, flexibility, innovation, and that's what they'll ask for and that's what they'll get.
Yeah.
It's one of these quiet achievers. I think the colleges themselves and the institutions are all quiet achievers who simply get on and deliver training and deliver outcomes and don't make any public sessions about that. So I think now it's time to ramp up a little bit. In awards nights, a lot of private providers are now being recognised for, again, the innovation, the flexibility and the complete outcomes they're achieving for the students and the gains that they're making all across the board in the vet sector, the international sector, the higher ed sector and now social inclusion. A lot of colleges, a lot of institutions, organisations are now working in the social inclusion sector as well and gaining significant outcomes for the students in that sector. Again, quite new and innovative, but achieving amazing outcomes.
Look, I think we need to do more branding as far as ACPET is concerned. We have made a conscious decision to focus towards quality and growth through quality by raising the bar initiatives that Claire would have talked about now a number of times over the last so many months. ACPET, by representing quality, really needs to be across not just at the student level but at the general public level. Now that takes time, that takes investment. In parallel with that, government also has worked to raise the profile of the value of private education as well as the value of educating an international student, whether either the public or private sector. And I know that there are efforts towards that in educating the general public on the value that the export dollar brings to our economy, not just directly to the members who focus in that area, but from housing to tourism and so on. So there's co-branding that has to happen both by ACPET and also by government, and eventually there are members who are very well known by industry as well, and really it's all up to us to put ACPET on our websites and on our brochures and other marketing material. It starts really at that time, not necessarily waiting for ACPET to put some ads on TV or the newspaper, which in the end uses members' funding anyway.
I think the recognition of private providers is utmost, and I think that's where we need to get that recognition. Up till until year 2009, private education was one of the biggest export industry in Australia. It was mentioned that it is $15 billion industry, but I think with a lot of different changes over the period of time, the things change. Some of the visa regulations changed, international student visa regulations and other regulatory bodies also changed. So that impact was felt all over. So it was not just the private providers. The impact was also on the public funded TAFEs and universities as well. I think Australia has got a very good reputation as an destination for higher education or vocational education, and I think we have done well, and private providers have made that contribution towards the recognition of Australia as a preferred destination for education. There will still be a lot of people who would like to go overseas to have that overseas experience apart from having, so it's like a holistic student experience. So you have to be there to have that experience. So I think the market is still there. Market would still always be there, and yes, they would be developing their own institutes. And for private providers, we are, as a private education provider, we are working with National Skill Development Council in India to support their vocational education and training. We may not be setting the campuses, but Australia has got a very robust vocational education and training sector, and that framework, I don't think any other country has got that. So that is appreciated as well overseas, and I think Australia holds a very significant standing in terms of overseas education.
But it's all about quality. It's about raising the standards. It's about recognising that when somebody comes to Australia, they're actually here to study, and they're going to go home with top quality qualifications, which can be used in their country or ours, or anywhere else for that matter. If we don't achieve that, then we've failed. And when they come here, they're going to know that we're going to look after them well. Things like ringing mum and dad or sending a letter is all about the market. If mum and dad are happy, you're going to get the siblings coming, you're going to get the friends coming. We need to do a lot more to, if you like, lock in our student population. And with good branding from ACPET, we can actually do that. If you come to an ACPET member, you're going to be looked after. You're going to get really good training. And there's nothing that we won't do for a student. It has to be, they're our customers, they're our lifeblood. Without students, we don't exist. So we better start looking after them a lot more. Even to some extent, although we're a membership base, I think ACPET should let the tentacles down into the student population as well.
What will we look like in the future? If I were to look into my crystal ball, I would say that we will raise that quality bar even further. I would say that raising that quality bar would provide opportunities, professional development opportunities for our membership. I believe that doing that is going to increase our credibility. I believe that the increase in credibility will therefore get us even more seats at more tables. So I see ACPET ultimately becoming a badge of honour for the best of the private sector.